It's Thursday, the 26th day of April, 2012, and this is INFOWARS Nightly News.
Tonight on the INFOWARS Nightly News, Alex Jones speaks with investigator Jim Marrs about the NATO preparations in Chicago. Alex also speaks with Deliberate Dumbing Down of America author Charlotte Iserby with breaking news on education. Plus, Russian troops trained to combat American terrorists, and internal emails reveal the Fast and Furious scandal now includes grenades. All that and more coming up. And now, from deep behind enemy lines, your host, Alex Jones.
First off tonight, what I call the twilight zoning of America, all part of the corporate world government known as Agenda 21. Russian troops. I've seen troops from Israel, England, Germany, Czech Republic, Latin America, you name it, at urban warfare drills trying to take on the American people. It's in my police state films that I've put out in the last 14 years. But I've never confirmed Russian troops in America. Well, it's confirmed now. It's on Chinese TV and press, Russian and U.S. media. Russian troops training to take on the American people. Absolutely incredible headline. Russian troops to target terrorists in America as part of drill. Joint U.S.-Russian anti-terror exercise stokes fears of martial law. And it goes right through the entire report. All part of acclimating us to this global government. See, you don't ever want to use troops from your own country or the region you're attacking. Back when the Russians would clamp down on Western Russia, they would bring people in from thousands of miles away in Eastern Russia. Or in Tiananmen Square in '89, they bring people from hundreds of miles away from another ethnic group down to suppress people in Beijing. This is how it's done. Going over some of the article, airborne troops from Russia and the United States would hold joint anti-terror drills in the U.S. state of Colorado between the 24th of May and the 31st, reports the major national Chinese news agency, citing Russian Defense Ministry colonel. And it just goes on in the official Russian news agency, and then it's in the Business Insider and other reports. They're going to be training there in the real U.S. capital, Colorado, to take on the American people, and it dovetails with NLE-09. 3 years ago, where troops from 15 foreign nations trained, FEMA admitted, to take on the American people. Why not? Our government's foreign banker run. They're bringing in foreign mercs, like the Brits did the start of our country back in 1776, bringing in the German Hessians. And here's a flashback. Scouts trained to fight terrorists and more. And the article goes on in the New York Times from back in '09 to say the Boy Scouts are training to take on disgruntled veterans and kill them. That's right. Land of the free, home of the brave. Now, moving on to our next big story. We'll be talking to Jim Marrs about this. But first, they're banning free speech and gathering at Dealey Plaza in Dallas. That's the main reason he's joining us. Government secretly prepares to evacuate Chicago during NATO summit. We already saw press reports in Chicago where they told people living in buildings and apartments around it, just get out. The government said so. You're going to fall down and hit your head if you don't. Well, now a leaked directive issued by the Red Cross indicates the federal government has prepared plans to evacuate Chicago during the NATO summit. An email sent to Red Cross volunteers in Milwaukee area notes that NATO summit in May could create unrest or another national security incident. A spokesman for the Red Cross told CBS, our direction has come from the city of Chicago and the Secret Service. While the Secret Service has not commented on the news, officials at Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications have denied having anything to do with the directive. Continuing to more government liars. The TSA is still groping children in airports. 3 years ago, when this controversy began, they said, we're not groping children. And then hundreds of videos came out of them taking diapers off, sticking their hands on a little girl's pants, men searching girls, women searching men. I mean, craziness. Totally illegal. So they said, we're going to stop it in 2010. Then in 2011, they were going to stop. This year, they were going to stop. And it's always, we have stopped, or we're not groping, or we're not strip searching old ladies, and oh, I guess we are. We're not robbing your bags. Oh, I guess we are. There's no radiation from the microwave machines. Oh, I guess there is. Lies, lies, lies. I mean, demons lie less than these people. I mean, are these people directly out of, like, Poltergeist or something? I mean, do they come out of your TV set? I mean, who wants the job grabbing little kids' genitals all day? Couldn't pay me $10 million to do this. Unbelievable. That's an INFOWARS.com story by Steve Watson. TSA is still groping children in airports. Agents coldly refer to kids as suspects because psychologically that makes them have more fun, and scream at parents who attempt to defuse situations. Children will cry. They go ahead and arrest parents when that happens. It's all part of training everybody to be abject slaves in land of the cowards, home of the pathetic jellyfish cowards. All right, continuing here, ladies and gentlemen, with the teleprompter-free news, we have more TSA pedophile news for you. Feds, crooked TSA screeners arrested in drug trafficking scheme. They had their daily 10 pounds of coke they brought through the special feds, but they went, and that's marijuana right there in another seizure, but they went through the wrong checkpoint and got busted, but I'm sure they won't get in any trouble. Hell, the federal government's there to ship in narcotics. They'll probably get promoted to the heads of Fast and Furious. And by the way, speaking of Fast and Furious, the Daily Caller reports that we reported months ago, we have a clip of that, Obama administration let grenades, that's granados in Spanish, walk in Fast and Furious documents. Not out of gun shows, but out of military bases and places like that. The emails show ATF agents were aware that might lose track of Kingery while they allowed them to transport grenade parts into Mexico. The emails also show ATF agents knew that the grenades could end up exploding and killing innocent people. Well, they blew up Oklahoma City, why not? If they proceeded with the plan, that didn't stop Obama administration's ATF from allowing their grenades to walk so they could blame the Second Amendment. So I'm not poo-pooing the fact the Daily Caller reported on this. It's just we reported on it over a year ago, and I always tell my writers, hey, just because we've already reported on something, reporting on it later with new developments is important to get it out. So this is a lesson to everybody. Now the story is getting attention today. But here is the CBS News report, October 14th, 2011, last year, grenade walking part of gunwalker scandal. What a loving, sweet little government that we certainly have. We have a little short clip from last year of CBS News reporting on the grenades that this guy shipped into Mexico so he could blame the Second Amendment. He can't even buy grenades, but whatever, he likes to. I even blame people for it. They said, grenades, Second Amendment, ban guns, ban. Here it is. Here's his little false flag attack.
In January 2010, ATF had Kingery under surveillance after he bought about 50 grenade bodies and headed to Mexico. But they say prosecutors wouldn't agree to make a case. 6 months later, Kingery allegedly got caught leaving the U.S. from Mexico with 114 disassembled grenades in a tire. One ATF agent told investigators he literally begged prosecutors to keep Kingery in custody this time, but was again ordered to let Kingery go.
Well, there you have it. So the exact same story. The point is he was working for the ATF and 7 other agencies, FBI, you name it. They shipped guns into Mexico, drugs back in. That's in all these federal court cases. That's the rest of the story you're not supposed to know. All right, before I tell you what's coming up next, let me give you the daily quote by Seneca. All cruelty springs from weakness. And that's right. Most of the people that are into cruelty and darkness, well, all of them in one way or another, are weak. The strong do not want to abuse the weak. It is only the weak that want to abuse other weak. That is a great truth that I've certainly learned. Now, coming up, Jim Mars on an incredible attack on the First Amendment, and then Charlotte Thompson Iserby. All this and more after this quick break.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at INFOWARS.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. INFOWARS.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at INFOWARS.com. You You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
A common argument today for attending college is to equip yourself with the skills needed for a lucrative career. However, as college tuition constantly rises, so does the need for student loans.
Today, roughly 2/3 of college students graduate with debt. The average amount owed at graduation is approximately $25,000, and payments average around $700 a month. But what happens if someone can't pay off their debt? Currently, 1/3 of the states in the U.S. allow debtors, those who are in default of a loan, to be arrested and jailed.
Recently, INFOWARS.com has run several stories concerning these loopholes in the laws, allowing creditors to arrest citizens.
How does this happen? Unpaid bills are sent to the collection agencies, who then file a lawsuit against the debtor. A court summons is then issued, and when the debtor fails to appear, a warrant is issued for their arrest.
With the growing number of students attending college and the national debt, these loopholes should be a primary concern to anyone who has ever held a student loan or any loan.
Most of the students I approached did not want to appear on camera. However, many of them were unaware that defaulting on their loans could result in an arrest.
Alyssa Letourneau reporting for INFOWARS.com. Topics we're going to be talking about tonight. 19 things the mainstream media has been strangely quiet about. It's an article from PRISONPLANET.com. We're going to take a look at that tonight, as well as the Fukushima issue, which is one of the 19 things the media has been strangely quiet about. Other topics for tonight, we're going to take a look at Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department partners with Alert ID. What does that mean? How do you feel about having a neighborhood watch on your smartphone? As well as the main story, unfortunately, Las Vegans are sadly unaware of what the installation of the recent smart meters means for them in the long run. They're unfamiliar with the globalist agenda behind it, which is Agenda 21. Let's break that down here in just a moment. First story tonight, 19 things the mainstream media is being strangely quiet about. Number 2 on this list of 19 is Fukushima.